Daddy's got to go to Emerald City Comicon today. But before he goes, Jedi needed to play with some bubbles. With any luck, you may be able to join me next year. I'll be wearing this on my head today and cosplaying as a daddy. Here we are. One of my favorite parts about coming to these bigger cons is meeting people who recognize me, and sometimes I recognize them back.
My name's Joel. I've been watching for about a year, and I've been vlogging myself for about the same amount of time. I went to Vlogger Fair with a friend of mine, got to meet you there, and got to hang out and see all that stuff, so I'm excited for that next year, whenever you guys do it next.
Yeah, I know, everyone keeps asking, and I'm just not sure. You do comic reviews in your YouTube channel.
Correct, and then go to cons or go to other events and just do stuff at them. I just went to Italy, so I'm still like editing all those videos down to put them up on my site, so I'm backlogged a little.
That's okay.
But I'm getting them up.
Well, if you want to see Joel get it up, I'll be sure to put a link for you in the video description.
Right here.
Y'all know I collect Funko Pop vinyl, and I've got a supplier, buyer, what would you call you? Fellow collector who helped enable me to get the Do-Back set that I'd been looking for. And
hey, I'm Ralph. How you doing?
And Ralph has worked on things that you've probably seen before.
Done a lot of commercial work, worked on some feature films. I'm working on some DC stuff, television properties.
You've seen Ralph's stuff. All of these balloon sculptures, is that fair to call them balloon sculptures?
It's fair to call them balloon sculptures.
They are very Star Wars related, and I wanted to get something for Jedi, and before I had a chance to ask this guy, who is...
Brandon Ray.
Said he recognized me from...
Tech TV days, man.
He didn't recognize my face, he recognized my voice.
I did. I was just standing here, I turned to the person next to me, I said, that sounds like Chris, and it took me a second to remember your name. Chris Pirillo.
Wow, that's so
I remember
impressive.
the name. I actually was Googling your Twitter to see if you were here before I walked over.
Ah, no, I did not announce that I was going to be here.
Out, but I checked. I'm a geek. I'm a geek and a twist balloons. That's what I do.
Someone had to finish whatever he started. It's a balloon sculpture of Kylo Ren made by this guy.
This was 6-7 hours. Had a few pop balloons trying to figure it out. There is, a dozen or so different size black balloons in here. Try and get that right shape and feel.
And do you do this as a hobby?
Yeah, I do it as a hobby.
This is kind of like a professional hobby.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So every time I think of something crazy and ask my wife if I can do it, I've got a fund for it. First time actually I was 5, I got a balloon dog and took it apart, put it back together until it popped. A few years ago we did Incredible Hulk at like 9.5, 10 feet tall.
If someone really wanted to get started with doing something like this, where would you suggest they start?
Man, I just start with grab some balloons. Pop them until you're not afraid to pop them, and then you can just twist anything. This is an art of patience.
You built this whole thing? Everything?
Yeah, I had help with the bench.
Obviously, yes.
And what about the actual AR?
I've got a developer that's working with me, but I actually sculpted all the monsters.
Really?
Yeah, we did photogrammetry where we scanned the sculpts of the monsters, and then we had some animators animating it.
How long did this take you?
The bench, I've been working on since December, and then I've been sculpting the monsters since last January, or January 2015, and then the table I worked on in August.
Remember that Star Wars collectors group that I hang out with every so often? I'm about to watch one of their panels. We're going to talk about Star Wars figures. All of them.
Michael was here a few years ago. Yeah, he did figures at Disney stores. 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah. I'm looking for new Star Wars stuff, and along comes...
Herb Fuller. I've been following you for about 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you recognize these feet? They belong to...
Brian.
How did you discover me?
Oh, way back when, show with you, and ever since then, I've just been a complete fan of the Chris Pirillo universe, CPU.
I remember visiting their headquarters a few months ago. Do you? One of my favorite geeky artists ever. We've got some of his originals hanging in our home, Justin Hillgrove. Did you know that there's an Ewok Builders Club? There is.
My name's Amy Showard, and I am an Ewok builder, I guess. And I kind of came about it accidentally because we were planning to go to Endor, to the Redwoods filming location in California. And we thought, well, you know, if we're going to the Redwoods and we're going to geek out, we're going to the speeder bike filming trail, we should really bring Ewoks with us. So we built some Ewoks.
Wow.
And the one in the back left corner is one of the first generation of builds. And then all of these ones surrounding it are from a second generation of builds that we just finished up, like 2 weeks ago. The majority of the builders happen to be in Seattle. They also all happen to be members of Sarlacc. Tom is a member of Sarlacc and the Ewok Builders. He's one of the instigators for that, so we can blame him too.
How long does it usually take to complete an Ewok?
The first time we did it, we had a deadline, right? We're like, we need to get to the Redwoods, we have to have this done. And so we finished them probably in 3 weeks, which was kind of crazy because we'd never built one before. We didn't really know what we were doing. But the second round, we took a lot more time, so it's probably been a couple months, 3 months, but we only meet a couple times.
I admire your work.
Thank you.
I saw so many awesome cosplayers and so many amazing independent artists. Da 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 da. Please don't pop it. It's an X-wing. Yeah. I'm afraid she's going to pop it though. It's my biggest fear because she's squishing it, and if it pops, she's never going to like balloons. Okay, we'll just admire it. Oh, would you rather have Daddy hold you? It's your first X-wing, and it's inflated. It's ready for battle, I guess. Let me guess, you've been waiting all day for this. You love those two stamps. Why just these two stamps? Oh, you want to put it on me? Thank you. Thank you again. No, it's not going to show up because it's not invisible ink. I haven't put the ink on the stamp. No, Daddy's the ink master. Amy gave me a handmade BB-8 pin that's got sparkly eyes. Or whatever those are on a droid. Comicon haul! I got Star Wars figures. They're new Star Wars figures that have been recarded. And they came with the cases. $5 a piece. I didn't have many of these before, but I do now. Some of these figures alone are worth more than $5. Some of them. And despite being no more valuable on these fake cards, even though they are real cards, they're not the original cards, I'm probably going to keep them like this. Hun, the cases alone are probably worth what I paid. Thanks again for taking the time to watch, like, share, subscribe, leave positive comments, participate with us on this and every other social platform every single day, and of course, supporting us in whatever ways that you see fit. We'll see you tomorrow.